Today, I poured everything that I had in my heart in front of a beautiful girl, my childhood best friend. This is the story of what happened after I confessed to her and got rejected. Let's see what happened before and how the story started.
Her name is Michiru. We used to live close, so we hung out since we were kids. She's my childhood friend. But let us continue with what happened the day before. As the main character approached her from behind, he asked her if she was free later today, to which she replied she had plans with her friend but could take out some time for him tomorrow. She said if it was urgent, she could come by his house later, but he said it was all right. Kids were making fun of him, saying, "How is he close to that beautiful girl?" They were pretty right about it. He couldn't blame them for reacting like that. If they weren't childhood friends, he doubted Michiru would ever talk to him. She is extremely attractive, athletic, and intelligent. She's the literal definition of a school idol. More than anything, she is really kind. On the other hand, the main character is the weakest in the class, does not have any stamina, and makes up stories that no one pays attention to, except Michiru. She used to say he was super funny and would actually praise him for them. Returning to the present, they finalized their meeting for tomorrow, and she had to go with her friend. As she left, the main character thought to himself that he was only here thanks to her and decided that tomorrow, he would confess his love to her. Michiru thought he wasn't acting like himself. What was he thinking about? Was it something important? As the main character came into the center of the city, he saw a large billboard advertising the hit of the century, a massively popular web novel adapted into a movie, Digital Masters, the movie, Infinite Heaven Arena, now in theaters. From kids to young people and old people, everyone was talking about it. People were selling tickets for it. We get to know that it is known as Digimass. As our main character was getting out of the crowd, he bumped into someone, a gangster-like person who tried to attack him, but his girlfriend stopped him, saying he wasn't worth wasting time on and that they needed to go see the next episode of Digimass. Our main character escaped narrowly. Both of those couples were big fans of Digimass. Finally, the day came, and our main character, with all his courage, asked her out. The girl reacted differently than expected. She said with a rout, "Why would I ever do that?" Cold-blooded and cool, the main character was still not understanding what she was saying. She said she was busy anyway, as she was reading the novel, Digimax, or Digital Master. She said there was a new chapter and they could talk later. The main character said that he poured his soul into that confession, yet all she cared about was this novel. The main character tried to approach her, but she just ignored him and said she still had the episode of Digital Master anime to watch. The main character said she should give it more thought rather than outright rejecting him, but she said her heart belonged to the novel, Digital Monster, and he didn't even have a chance. The main character tried to explain, but she cut him off, saying, "Are you trying to say that the author of Digital Monster and you are the same person?" The main character said, "Hold on, is this some kind of joke?" She said she meant exactly what she said. "A joke, that is my life." The main character had been pushed beyond his limits. He had been defeated by an online novel. The main character said that he is the author of Digital Monster, to which the girl outright said he was lying. In desperation, the main character tried to explain that the name of the author, Kimimatsu, was just another way to read his name, but she said it was just a lucky coincidence and there was no way someone like him would ever be close to the author of Digital Monster. The main character even tried to show his original draft of the latest chapter. The girl looked at him and said it was just copy-pasted. The main character tried his best, but the girl had already made up her mind about him. In desperation, the main character held her hand, on which he got smacked. The dreams of the main character were now broken. We saw the girl with extreme anger and a cruel face, saying that she didn't know he could stoop so low as to trample over something she loved. She said, "Listen up, Kimimatsu-sama is 1,000 times more handsome and smarter than you." The main character had been heartbroken beyond expectation. As she left the class, she said not to even try to talk to her for a bit. The main character was now on the ground, crying, and said that he wasn't lying. He made the entire novel because he got encouraged by her and because of her words and encouragement. He used to pull all-nighters writing the novel and poured out his heart, but it looked like she never really took his kindness seriously. The main character was sobbing and crying, saying that it was all in his head and he wanted to die. In a fit of mixed emotions, he said that now that he didn't even have a reason to write, why should he continue writing anymore? Is there any reason left? The main character pulled out his phone and typed on his Twitter that he quit and was retiring from now on. As he posted this message, we saw hundreds of people seeing it in an instant and getting sad, worried, surprised, and feeling every emotion there is. We saw them crying, not believing it, and being beyond amazed and distracted by this news. The main character, looking soulless, got a call from his editor. As he answered the call, his editor asked where he was. He said he was just heading home, and the editor said she would come to his house later. As the main character came home, we saw his sister and mother jumping over him, hugging him, and asking what he meant by retiring. His sister asked, "Why would you quit? Are you getting bullied?" The main character said, "Not really," and asked what had gotten into them. His sister said, "Can you blame us for it? You dropped a drama bomb and said you were retiring. This was a big thing, you know." We saw his mom in anger, saying that if someone hurt her son, she would have a few words with him. The main character said he wasn't getting bullied and it was all okay. As he was sitting on the couch, his family asked him what made him quit. The main character, just getting scared by his sister, and with a sad atmosphere around, said he had lost his motivation in writing. The mother asked him if it was writer's block. The main character said, "No, it's not." The sister cried out to him, saying, "Why? What is the problem?" She was trembling with emotions and said she would die if she didn't read his novels regularly. We saw the mother coming closer, hugging him, and patting his head. She said she wouldn't ask what happened. She loved his work, but she loved him 100 million times more. The main character became emotional. We saw that his sister had the same kind of emotion as both of them were hugging him. His sister said that if he decided it, she would accept his choice. We saw the main character crying too. We saw someone open the door, and the main character's father rushed toward him, hugging him, and asking why he was suddenly giving up. "You cannot give up on this. Even the vice editor will get fired if you quit. You are a treasure to the company, and you cannot retire." He got grabbed by someone, and we saw that it was his wife, saying, "Stop bullying my son." The main character's father apologized for it. The main character said, "How pathetic." We saw a bike near the main character's house. A woman removed her helmet and moved toward the main character's room. She said, "The vice editor-in-chief left this to me." We got to know that she was the editor of our main character. He was surprised to see her. She called him sensei and said, "Hop on the bike." The main character wondered what was going on. She said he was coming with her and she would borrow him for a bit. She said it was her mission to cheer him up from his slump. As both of them got onto the bike, she told him to hold her tightly. The main character was hesitant to hold a grown-up woman. She said, "Just hold me," and they went full speed toward somewhere. The main character thought, "Her hair smells good." They arrived at a fancy place. She apologized, saying this was the only place she could reserve at such short notice. He said it was fine and asked where the other people were. She explained that she booked the entire hotel. He asked how she could afford it, to which she said the company was rich and his novel was the biggest thing in Japan. As they were having food, she said to dig in. We saw them eating nice food, and our main character felt a bit less heartbroken. She appreciated our main character. The main character remembered what his childhood friend said to him and got a bit sad. The editor asked what the matter was. She guessed he got heartbroken by a girl. The main character asked how she knew. She said it was a woman's intuition. The main character said the feelings were one-sided. She asked if he wanted to talk about it, but the main character didn't say anything. He said it was about his leisure suit and embarrassing stories, and he would just get more depressed talking about it. We saw the main character appreciating her calmness and kindness as a mature woman, making him want to let down his guard a little. She said she was glad he didn't have any other problems. She guessed his childhood friend rejected him, and in a moment of desperation, he announced his retirement. But she said at least it wasn't his work or his character that made him feel that way. She said that a reason to write was important. From what the main character told her, she said that the childhood friend was the reason, but sensei, every author has a certain responsibility. The main character wondered what she meant. She told him he had become a hero for people, and just his one text had made it onto the news, making everyone sadder and sadder hearing it. The main character got a bit worried, seeing how much people loved him. Everyone was saying, "I beg you, don't stop. Come back. We need to see if their dreams come true. I don't know how I'm going to live without dramas and other things like that." Everyone loved him. The main character, now emotional, said that for a girl, he left everything and was going to abandon his fans. The editor said she understood he was having a hard time, but there were millions of readers who fell in love with his novel, not to mention his characters, and he couldn't just leave them be. The main character said it was silly and harsh of him, and he regretted how selfish he was. At the end of the day, even his childhood friend's rejection stemmed from misunderstanding. The main character, now without any emotion, said he made up his mind to continue and live for his readers and characters. He said he would retract his statement, to which she ordered red wine. On the other hand, the main character, as the author, got a lot of ruling on his retirement being cancelled in just a few hours. Stick with me as the main character and his image as the author get revealed, and we see the harem he has collected until now.
As he retracted his retirement, they were now heading home from the restaurant. In the restaurant, Mason guzzled down wine like there was no tomorrow, saying that she would pick me up first thing tomorrow on the train. We observed a few people thinking how cute that girl was. They were talking about the main character's manager. They had to take a train instead, and the main character looked toward his manager, who was observing his page on social media, saying, "Wow, look, you already have twice the comments your retirement announcement had in such a short time." He thought about how she was right and blushed as she said, "You're quite famous." "Yes, I see it now. I've been turning a blind eye to the people who love my work." She smiled and got even closer to him, saying, "I'm one of those people too. I just love you so much." The main character was quite shocked, as well as embarrassed, and said, "Haha, it's embarrassing to hear that in person, though. You mean for my work, right? I'm really happy to hear you feel that way." He wondered why she had to say it like that. We observed her blushingly say, "But I'm really glad. It's like I was finally able to do something, and it took a load off my shoulders." The main character couldn't understand, but then thought, "Right, she's still my manager and editor. If I actually decided to quit, she'd have no job. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking about your repercussions." She said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that." In an age where authors can publish on their own, the role of publishing companies like ours has changed. That's especially true of the relationship between authors and editors. It almost feels like editors aren't needed anymore. The main character said, "That's not true. I think you're very useful." She replied, "Oh, it's not like I'm looking for pity. Just keep in mind how I feel and what I can do for you. That way, I'll be able to remain the #1 fan of your work." Honestly, I was surprised out of my wits to see the expression on Mei-san, who is usually as calm and collected as a career woman. Somehow, it made her even more beautiful to look at. She said, "While we're at it, as someone who's a first-hand witness to your dedication and how dedicated you are, I know just how much time and effort you put into your work. I know it better than anyone. I mean, I'm your biggest fan, aren't I?" The main character looked at her with serious eyes. She continued, "My job is to remain the one who gains your understanding and understands you the most. Working with DG Mass, no, working with you has been the best thing to ever happen to me. Please allow me to be by your side no matter what. As embarrassing as it is to say, I want to be DG Mass's partner for life. No, your partner for life." We observed the main character's heart pounding, and he thanked her. It really made me happy to hear that she felt so strongly about my work and working with me, not just as an author, but also as a person. She understood me and supported me. In that moment, I was glad to have Mei-san as my editor. "Here's to our continued partnership," he said. She smiled, saying, "I'm looking forward to it as well." As they were having the conversation, she added, "But still, I do feel jealous, you know." She said, "Out of the blue. Of your childhood friend, that is. I mean, you, the author who robbed the world with his work, you who wrote your work for her praise being your sole motivation. That would make any girl's heart flutter, wouldn't it?" The main character said, "Maybe so," but he remembered how she had said to him, "Don't you dare say it," even as a joke. She didn't believe him anyhow. Michiru didn't know about me and refused to believe me. To her, I was just a childhood friend, someone who bore no resemblance to her perfect Kamamatsu-san. That's all there was to it. She apologized, saying, "Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up." But the main character said, "It's no worry, it's fine. Thanks to you, I've already moved on." She replied, "You're so dense," as she leaned toward his shoulder, resting her head on it. He freaked out, wondering if she was embarrassed, as she said, "Want a date?" The main character, after hearing such word from a beautiful maiden, freaked out, saying, "What's going on here?" as she rubbed his thigh. We observe him going bonkers, thinking her hand, it's too close, dangerously close. Where am I supposed to look? I feel so hot right now. She said, "Hot? Is something wrong?" The main character asked her, and she replied, "I can't hold back anymore." He said, "I'm not sure what you mean. I'm happy that you feel this way, but it's too sudden, and we're on a train." As he said that, we observe her listening to him. He even asked if she was listening, and she laughed a bit, blushing toward the main character, then hugged him, getting even closer, and started to say, "Then what's the hang-up? Let's date." Her chest was pressing precisely against the main character, who was losing his mind because of it. She said, I could actually tell you were interested in someone before. That's why I held back, but now that you were rejected, there's nothing between us, so go out with me." The main character said, "I don't. Why me?" He was stammering, unable to understand anything. She said, "Why you?" "Well, you're rich, famous, have a bright future." He thought about how she was too honest. Then she leaned in even closer and kissed him on the cheek. Both were blushy and flustered. She said, "Last but not least, you're very cute." The main character's brain was overwhelmed as the idea of a girl kissing him, especially such a mature one, was out of his mind. He thought about how she was completely and utterly drunk. "Hey, get a room. You too," people were saying on the train. "Dude, are you filming?" "Man," she kissed him. "Leave him alone." We observed how this caused a whole murmur. The girl still said, come on, say it." The train was arriving at platform 3, and the main character said, "Thank you, everyone. That's my stop for today. The doors on the right side will open." She tried not to let the main character go, saying, "Wait, is that a yes or a no?" But the main character said, "Be careful on your way back home, Mei-san. I'm glad you're my editor. I think we make a really good team, and I don't mean like a couple," he thought to himself. "Thanks again. Your sincerity makes you so attractive to many other girls, too." She gripped her hands as she freaked out on the train, saying, "I'm serious about it, okay? Good night." As the main character got off the train at the platform, he thought to himself, that was so embarrassing. I almost died from that. Being drunk shouldn't be an excuse for this kind of behavior, but he blushed and had a nosebleed thinking about her, wondering maybe she was just trying to cheer me up or something. Everyone was so kind. Mamutiko and Mei-san. Their kindness helped repair the damage to his heart. Not only them, but all the fans who eagerly awaited the continuation of his work as well. Let's go, all right? Let's go home and write the next chapter of DG Mass for all the readers and for all the characters that live in it. As the night faded and the chirping of the birds started at the main character's house, we observed his sister crying. The main character woke up, looking toward her as she was on top of him. He couldn't understand why she was crying, asking, "What is it? What's wrong? Why are you crying?" She said, "Sorry, I just read the chapter you posted last night, and I was so deeply moved by it." The main character forgot to tell us, but it looks like his entire family is quite a die-hard fan of DG Mass. We observed her saying, "It has so many views, even though you posted it so late into the night," and so many comments. "Everyone was waiting for your return." "Thank you, Oni-chan," she said as she lunged toward him, saying, "I'm so happy. Never stop. Sorry I made you worried." The main character said, as he got squished by her, she rubbed him all over, saying, "Thank you for blessing us with this new chapter. I'm so proud to be the sister of someone who can write something so wonderful." As all of that happened, and they got to have some breakfast, she showed his energy. He said, well, as he greeted everyone, morning, to his family. We observed his dad crying, coming toward him and hugging him, saying, "Thank you. Thank you for not quitting. Now I won't get fired. You're my own family savior. He said, I couldn't be prouder. His mother said, Dear, stop clinging to him. Good morning, Yuta. What is he? An octopus, he said to his mother as she replied. And you, dear, get your act together. You need to be able to support the family, even if he stops writing. He said, Impossible. If Yuta quits, our family is done for. He's a god amongst us mortals. She said, That's true. You're pathetic and useless at your job. The only reason you're still employed is because you're the father of him. That hurt his father, but it was the truth. Everyone laughed at it, and we observed his mother coming closer to him and hugging him, saying, I'm glad you feel better. Ignore him. If you ever want to quit for real, just go ahead and do it. She continued, But are you sure they can support us? It'll be okay. We'll find a way to make things work. I'm managing the finances, after all. Don't worry and just do what you want, but don't forget about school, okay? You're still a high school student, just like everyone else. You need to study and experience life. So, even if a certain someone expects too much from you, you can just ignore him. As his father was emotional, she continued, saying, The more you force yourself to do something you don't want to do, the more you make me worry. We observed the sobbing as it happened, and even his sister joined them, saying, I don't want to see you sad either. They were all so kind. He thought, feeling the warmth of the family. Thank you, but really, I'm okay with it. I still want to write. We observe his father even wanting to join, saying, Let me give you a kiss as well. But his mother spanked him off. Anyways, now let's have breakfast before it's too late. Honey, your tamagoyaki is the best in Japan. Dad passed the soy sauce. The next story regards Digital Masters, the web novel that has recently become a cultural phenomenon. Look, only chance DG Mass is on the news. The retirement statement has now been retracted, but it still caused passionate reactions in the time it was given. The main character's spirits sank as his mother said, Every channel is talking about it right now. He didn't know he was so famous. Slow news day, huh? No, Yuta, you just don't get it. Matsu Sensei's DG Mass is as massive as franchises that have sold a crazy number of printed copies and anime Blu-rays, and now it has a box office revenue of 50 billion yen. The main character was absolutely freaked out hearing this number. That's right, it's a lot. When did we make that much? In fact, there was going to be a party to celebrate the achievements. Do you want to attend? The main character was quite surprised, judging from her expression. Zakurikan hasn't told you about it yet, has she? You know, to commemorate the movie's 50 billion yen milestone, they will be hosting a party specifically for the movie's production too. Is that so? That's amazing. A party reservation, isn't it, at the first-class hotel next to the Metropolitan Government Building? They're going all out here, and they booked the entire hotel. His father said, That's just how much money he has made from that movie. Impressive, his mother said. But of course, if Yuta-chan was anything less than an absolute genius, he couldn't have written DG Mass. The main character thought about how his whole family was so kind. Once again, his father asked if he was coming. The main character thought quite deeply about it. Should he come? His mother said, Does he need to attend? He hasn't really been to such events before, has he? His sister said, You're trying to hide your identity, right? The main character thought about hiding his identity as one reason, but the bigger reason would be, certainly, although I'm not popular with the girls anyways. Before this, I used to feel like I was cheating on Michiru, but now I know it was all just in my head. I'm certainly getting carried away a lot. His sister asked, What's the matter? His father said, All right, I'll tell them you can't come. But the main character stopped his father, saying, Wait, Dad, I want to go. His father was quite surprised hearing his son say that. But the main character had made up his mind, thinking, That's right, Michiru is not a concern anymore, and this will help me get over her. I see. Got it. I will tell everyone now. It will be fun, I promise. You'll get to meet plenty of new faces, like the director or the super famous voice actress, Yamagani Yuria, along with the rest of the cast, of course. The main character thought about Yamagani Yuria. What? You mean the one who voiced the lead in my anime? That super popular, super beautiful high school. He thought, I've heard her name from one of the anime tapes I had. He imagined how both of them would meet. I'm Yamagani Yuria. Nice to meet you. He remembered her voice, leaving a deep impression on him. His father said, "Oh, I can't wait. Gotta bring plenty of autograph boards." His mother said, "Are you planning on using our son to get autographs from these VAs? You're really pathetic." Either way, the main character thought this would be his first party, and he was very excited. We observe his sister trying to search for the girl, and as she found her, she thought about how she was really beautiful. I'm sure that this party will mark the beginning of a new chapter in the life of the main character.